Hey everybody, happy Saturday, guys. Happy 1st of December. In Ukraine, we consider December 1st as first day of winter. And I hope you have a good day today. And a lot been going on in Ukraine. I've seen a few videos that people have been posting on martial law and things like that. I can only imagine how confusing that is, because it's confusing. It could be confusing very often for Ukrainian people, but I do not. By the way, guys, I do not live in Ukraine. I live in United States, in Michigan, in the state of Michigan, and some of you were asking me where I live. So now you know. Hey, Glenn, good to see you again. So I just actually made a live on Facebook page, and guys, I'm going to be making Facebook page live. So if you're not following my Facebook page, you should. I'll post my page under this video. And so today I just want to bring up the topic of martial law in Ukraine and what it means. How does it affect travel? How does it attract mentality of people and all of that? And once again, I know what's going on, through my family, because my family is still in Ukraine. And of course I follow some news sources, and it's very interesting because news sources are showing all kinds of things, and I will try to tell you today something you might not see on American news or even Ukrainian news, but studying political science for many years in Ukraine. Some of you guys don't know I have a degree in international relationships, which mostly was politics and diplomacy and economy, like international, studying just international relationships that way. So one of the things, guys, I want to bring up here on in the United States channels, you're going to see that it's a Russian aggression is crazy, that Russians taking over, but the truth is it's a fight between two countries. I'm not gonna go too far. It's a fight for power. And what American news will not tell you is that Ukrainian President Poroshenko lost almost 90% or so of people's trust. That tells you something. This president is so far and gonna go to the history as the worst president in Ukraine, because people chose him to have better life. People risk their lives. They want to have democracy. They wanted to have this and that. But this president turned out to be the worst president in history. And this is what it's going to be called shortly. And I will tell you why. This president encouraged the war. If he would not want to have the war, there would be no war. He counts very much on the support of US and Western Europe. So for him, war is a business. How many presidents that are honestly serving the country becoming billionaires? How many presidents becoming billionaires during the war? Well, that's what he became. During this war, he became a billionaire. So he has any interest to stop it? No, he doesn't. And the reason for this so-called martial law, the only reason for that, which is completely staged, by the way, the reason for that is the country has martial law. It means that his election, actually re-elections, are going to be postponed. That is the only reason, one of the main reasons for that. People have no trust in him. People are, people having the hardest time. Like 4 or 5 years ago, people were not too happy with the other president. But believe me, every single Ukrainian would give everything they had, so these 5 years would not happen. Inflation with this president went from 8 hryvnia for $1 for 28 or something like that for $1. Can you imagine this happening in the US? What would happen? What kind of protests people would make? So just, guys, I just have to share. I have sometimes to use my political science mind. I used to love politics, and I wanted to be in like an embassy and doing that kind of work, but when I saw what's behind it, I decided against it. So, but I still have an analytical mind. I still lived in the center of Ukraine, in the very center. Our country was always divided in two, the West and the East. The East historically was always Russian speaking, and they are not bad people, they are wonderful people. The West was always Ukrainian, pro-Ukrainian, very nationalistic, and they're also, I wouldn't say they're bad people, there are also a lot of good people, but they are slightly out of their mind, because their dream was always to take over. They hate everything Russian because of Soviet Union. But you know what? Soviet Union didn't make us bad people. You know, Soviet Union did not make us, we didn't choose it. So they think, you know, people from West Ukraine in World War II, they actually were uniting with, they were uniting with Nazi. It's a crazy thing to say, and I do not hate Western people. You know, people from West Ukraine. I just highly disapprove their nationalism. They think that everybody should speak Ukrainian, that everything should be in Ukrainian, but yet they have nothing to offer. There is no production. There are no factories. There are very Western Ukraine lives of tourism, and a lot of people are going abroad because what they're trying to do is they are looking for some opportunity to make money. So they go into West Ukraine. They go into remember we were talking about that thing with orphans. So you know, in you know, once again, they are also people. You know, they're human beings. I do not say that they're bad, but they have this dream of turning everything pro-Ukrainian, you know? But anyway, guys, I don't wanna, I just wanna say this. Okay, let's see. Alex, thank you so much. Thank you, my friend, for support. Appreciate it. Good to see you guys here. So... you know, Kate, I want to tell you something. Because Stalin did what he did, it doesn't make Nazi any better. So, you know, uniting, you know, like, it doesn't make any sense in what you're saying. You know, people from my country should not be uniting, you know, with somebody who wants to torture and kill us. You have no idea what you're talking about. We didn't choose him. We were all one country. We did not choose that person. That person tortured everybody. They didn't torture just Ukrainians, you know. You know, the Soviet leaders like Stalin, they didn't torture Ukrainians. They tortured everybody. So, you know, we were fighting for, but for the moment of the war, we had people uniting all together. But guys, this is not a World War II lesson. Don't drag me into it. And please, I came here to give you some light and just to explain you a little bit. So basically, the martial law and this whole situation, it's a political thing. It's a staged event. It's a totally staged event. Because, you know, they... You know, and another thing that is really funny about here, so this conflict has been going on. It's been a devastating conflict. I don't care, even if I don't agree with, you know, the West Ukraine or East Ukraine. I don't care about it. These people are my brothers and sisters. I don't want them to suffer. I don't want their, you know, the factories, the cities, the children, the men, the women being injured and dead. Like, I don't want to ever, I've never seen I will see that in my life. I've never seen it will happen, but it was happening. And guess what? In these 4 years, there were some terrible things. If you guys were following a little bit, there were a lot of victims. There were shootings. There were fights. And so, just a minute. So there were fights and things like that. Why did he call martial law then? Right now, it's a business about two tiny ships crossing something. I'm not gonna give you the exact details, it doesn't matter. It's just a reason, when somebody wanna get a divorce and the husband is not eating right, or, he makes sounds, I forgot this name in English, when somebody eats and makes a disgusting sounds, or he's snores at night, all of a sudden that becomes a problem. Or there is a little thing, he forgot to do something, and the wife is like, well, you know what, we're getting a divorce. But the reason was not that. The reason was stuff that's been going on for years. And so, same thing here, guys. I just want you to understand that that is a political event, it's a staged event, it's mind games and politics, and it's really sad that this is going on, and they're trying to make big deal of it. And people, like, I am both some Russian and Ukrainians, and it shows to to people in America that Russia is a horrible country, and they keep getting the, like, they keep occupying and doing horrible things in Ukraine, but nobody tells that they built that bridge, that incredible bridge that nobody could ever bring before. That when there was election in Crimea, 95% of Crimean voted for Russia. They don't tell these things. And I am not taking sides. I just lived there. I've been there. I know what it is. And what's been happening this year doesn't make any sense. So this so-called martial law is number one bottom line here. This martial law is President of Ukraine trying to stay longer, steal a couple more millions or billions, so he can go and rest, as if he doesn't have that already. Just for those who join now, this president made money in this war. He became a billionaire in this war. So what kind of respect people can have for him? Once again, I think he has less than 5% of people to re-elect him. So what he's trying to do, he's trying to hold the time. He making some deals, I guess, to make more money and things like that. So then people, there is no way in the world he will be re-elected again, because people lost trust completely to him. He sucks. So that's all I can tell. So I'm sorry, guys, I'm getting emotional, but I feel for everybody. I love Russian people, I love Ukrainian people. We are all one blood, we are the same. And it's absolutely horrible. The good thing, guys, thank you, Alec. Yes, it's not that, if Ukraine wanted to officially do the martial law, they should have done it when it was the first year or second year, when things were terrible, when people, it was a mess. And I wish that things would be different. I really do. It hurts me. It's if you have a heart, we are the same people. And if our presidents can't divide things, that should be their problem. But we should not lose our lives for that. We should not. But now, okay, I'm done with this part, guys. I'm just giving you an idea. It's a stage event, and President Poroshenko is desperately trying to stay in the power. It's kind of, reminds me when it's time for spring in Michigan. It's time to things to blossom. And the winter keep giving us snowfalls and snowstorms. Like, come on, you're just desperately trying to hold something that you have no longer power of. It's kind of a nature advice here, Some people get desperate when they can't hold their power, and they use manipulative tricks. He also trying to gain some respect from Ukrainian people that he called martial law. But you know what? Ukrainian people already lost everything they could. They lost cities. They lost a lot of money because of the inflation. It's too late, Mr. President. It's way too late. And everybody who has a little bit something between the ears know exactly what are you doing with your manipulation. So he's been absolutely ridiculous, and he's just needs to get a couple more millions or billions. So so he's happy to retire. But my advice to him would be, leave while people not completely hating you. Leave when, when people want you to stay. basically. Don't live when people can stand your face, and people cannot stand him anymore. There are many protests, and so just so you know, he has 5% of people support or less. So this is how he acts. He acts desperate. Now, what martial law means to us, to you, to me, and to everybody else. Basically, it doesn't mean that much. I traveled to Turkey 2017 from Ukraine, and they had martial law. I took my son on vacation. I was a bit suspicious when I saw they have martial law, but basically you just sign some papers in Turkey that you realize that, something might happen, but, it might happen at any time. It's been in Ukraine, it's been 4 or 5 years, but things were happening. So it's nothing new, really. It's just a new label. So basically it doesn't mean that much of a difference. It doesn't mean it's not gonna affect the travel. It's not gonna affect foreigners. So far, of course, nobody in the world can predict the future and see if they're gonna escalate something. So you should follow the news and just make sure that things might change. But as of now, it's the same thing, and people are very tired of this. So it looks like airports. I have friends that been traveling, and my club members been traveling back and forth, and it looks like things were pretty much stable so far. So just with a normal precaution with what's been going on, that's basically all there is to it as of now. All right, guys, I want to see. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat. Krillin 876, Rob, if I'm correct. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you saying that, Veronica, I think people watch too many movies. They think if one guy is bad, it makes the other guy good. It is a lot more complicated situation. I agree 100%. Okay. All right. Well, guys, if you're gonna have misunderstanding, that's fine, Kate. I understand that. I see now what you meant, so that's okay. I got you now. Yeah, the Russian government is not so great, but Ukrainian government is not any better. And I'm gonna be laughing when people on the West gonna get sick and tired of Ukraine begging for money and trading people's lives for money. That conflict they have on the East, it could be solved in one session for about an hour. It can be completely solved when it started. But no, we need to play the war, and we need to make a couple $1 billion on that. That is the truth. We speak the same language, we can solve that conflict. So yeah, I mean, it is heartbreaking, and there is no excuse for that. Yeah, Alec, tell him to get out of there. People hate his guts. Okay, yes, exactly. So Alec used to live in Argentina, and this is what Alec is saying. Petro Poroshenko, Ukrainian president, is doing maneuver just like politicians in Argentina. He is creating a distraction to disguise his failures and retain power. It's exactly, Ukraine is extremely corrupt, and our government is just extremely corrupt. But guys, good luck, Alec, on your trip on 26th of December. I wish you the best of luck and a great travel, and I will keep you updated, guys, as my VIP members traveling, my followers are traveling to Ukraine. So if there is any problems or anything occurs, I'll let you know. Thank you guys so much for your contribution and support. I really appreciate you coming, commenting, and tipping me. It's everything adds up. I appreciate the thumbs up as well, because guys, when you put thumbs up and you comment, it adds more, the videos get more views, and it helps more people. So if you're watching this video, if you like what you hear, please put thumbs up, put a comment, do what's in your power. So I have one positive thing that's gonna come out of this, so I'm just gonna share about this. Yeah, exactly. Glenn is saying, I don't claim to know much about the conflict, but I'm always sad to see tensions increasing and battles continuing spreading. I agree. I could not agree more. But it's just funny how, you know, in US, they never show the other side of the conflict. It's always Russia is always the bad guy. But they didn't mention that those ships went to Russia-controlled territory and they didn't have the paperwork. And also they were warned, but they kept going, and there was a line, and they didn't want to stand in that line. So that's a, and they all had cameras to shoot that too. It's interesting, you know, how, I mean, how ridiculous things can get, you know, really. And you know, once again, we had bigger conflicts. There was blood, and whole cities got destroyed. This is when he needed to call martial law, but he didn't want to because it wasn't beneficial for him. Anyways, I don't want to talk about that person. I hope that we re-elect an adequate person that wants peace and realize that people's lives are the biggest treasure. One, guys, now, okay, I'm gonna calm down. And one last thing, guys, I would like to say is this. There is a positive outcome, however, even from this negative and uncomfortable situation, and that outcome is people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. There's going to be a new wave of immigrants right now, and this is not people that are looking for easy life. This is not gold diggers. This is not anybody negative. These people that have value, that they want to bring to the world. These people who are professionals, these are people who are creators, that are engineers, technical guys, anybody. These people who do not see future to staying in Ukraine. And for you guys who wants to marry, you know, who considering finding a partner, a Ukrainian, you know, lady, you just get another chance. Not another chance, but another reason why some successful Ukrainian women might consider moving to some other country, because people are sick and tired of this. People, imagine to have 400-500% inflation. Just imagine what that would be here. Imagine to live in this shakiness, you know, in this shaky situation. There is no 100% guarantee in any place. But the truth is, people are sick and tired of this, and they're going to be another reason for people who speak the other language, who have education, who have skills, to think about this and tell to themselves, screw it, we're going to go somewhere else and going to create better things in a better country. By better country, I mean more stable politically, more stable financially, more stable economy. And I'm not happy about it. I wish that Ukrainian people could, and Russian people could be in their countries and doing great things. But you know what? I don't blame them. You know, I am able now to, you know, send some money to my family and make a difference in their life sometimes, you know. And I know many people who do that. If I would be in Ukraine and I would depend on this government, I don't know what my life would be. Unless I would have some online business where I can do things online, and probably that's what I would be doing. But I'm just saying that the level of corruption and the instability actually has one positive thing, guys, for you, that some people could be more motivated for their future and future of the children to actually leave Ukraine. We can see it's, you know, some people might say, oh, you know, they are betraying Ukraine, you know, whatever. We all looking for better life, better conditions. It's true. You know, it's true. It's just this way. We all looking for a better future. You know, all of us, every single person. So I'm not talking right now about women that want to use you to go to Ukraine. This is why you have to get knowledge and you have to just be, you know, aware, and you can use my help to define certain things. But there are a lot of young, talented, smart, strong women and men that had enough, had this much, they had it more than they can take, and they're gonna be living. So with that being said, guys, not so upbeat life today, but I just had to bring some things up. So far this martial law doesn't mean very much except for the being on paper. I hope that it won't mean much. I hope it will stay just a paper, and I hope that Poroshenko will be kicked out as soon as possible, and other people will have a chance, because he disappointed people almost entirely. I think it's only his family in those 5%, really. I don't know anybody who supports him, and he will be known as the worst president in Ukraine because he dragged us into that war. So guys, from Michigan with love. Sometimes we have to have not so puppies and butterflies topics, but I care about you. It's great to see you. It's my privilege to be here. Thank you for your time. I will see you very soon, and till next time, have a wonderful day, night, and I'm signing off.